Ma'am, shall we take a picture with you?
हिमाचल यमुना तव शुभ आशीष मांगे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय 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 हे
Association in promoting culture and people to people.
During this period, in particular, His Excellency helped build the architecture.
Limited transactional nature. They have a role as the first responder in Sri Lanka's time of need were visible during the floods. Attest to this. Cricket or cuisine.
The usual practice that the society promotes. The relationship between India and several millennia, it is but natural that cultural histories and institutes in Sri Lanka, India, not just the new ones, but also many pending
From the University of Delhi and
in our efforts to encourage Indian practice and affection among our people are palpable. Or Buddhism trail, it speaks of an age-old connect that is only getting of economic recovery, growth and reform that we see manifold populations, which gives us the much-needed drive and energy to forge ahead. I must also thank the Sri Lanka India Society for providing me the honor to address all of you, especially
So all of us have a lot of connections, both here and in India. So that's the way that we have continued our friendships and strengthened it. So this is the common legacy. And to me, what is special on the 75th anniversary is now we are putting into effect the vision statement that I signed with Prime Minister Modi. We have always dealt with our cultural affiliations, with our religious affiliations, fact that we are both democracies, fact that we have the British system of law. But what we have forgotten is that the trade and the economic relationship between Sri Lanka and India. I think it goes back even beyond the cultural stage. At the time of the Mohenjo-daros, it is said those ships sailed even into Sri Lanka. In South India, especially, and in Sri Lanka, the four kingdoms in Anuradhapura, Tanjore, Madurai and Kanchipuram were either alliance with each other or at war with each other, depending how their economic interests were looked after. And to many of these three Indian kingdoms, one of the main ports to them was Trincomalee, to go into the east. The fact that India used our ports are well established. If you look at Munneswaram, the shrine near one port, Kirteswaram, the shrine near Mantai, Naguleswaram for those who came from Jaffna, what we call Jambukola Patuna, and finally Koneswaram for Trincomalee. The amount of coins that are there shows how much the Indian trade, the interaction between India and Sri Lanka. Into the villagers, they found in parts of the dry zone in Anuradhapura coins issued by some of the South Indian trading organizations. So long before we signed this agreement on Sri Lanka rupee and the Indian rupee, they have been at it using common currency. So now it's a question of how do we go forward? How do we consolidate this? So connectivity is the main item. Connectivity, transport connectivity, power connectivity, how do we work together? How does Sri Lanka use its regional location, the strategic location for trade, so that South India benefits from it? So we are looking at now the development again of Trincomalee as a harbour, as Southeast Asia and the Bay of Bengal develop, and the Bay of Bengal itself becomes, the strategic value improves, the use of Colombo, how we will have connectivity, and how the excess renewable power in Sri Lanka partly can be used in South India. The tourism, the tourists who come from India to Sri Lanka, and also Sri Lankans who keep going to India. Remember, it's two ways. A fairly large number goes to Tirupati, and now to Ayodhya, and to Guruvayur, much as they will come down here. So it is for us, as the Indian Ocean develops, as our countries develop, that we work together. We move towards economic integration. There's no other way. Don't take the way of UK, which being integrated to Europe, decided they'll go out. And they're still looking for a role, including a free trade pact with India. If it will come through or not, I don't know. But nevertheless, we must realize the opportunities we have, how we can work together with India and go ahead. There should not be any differences. We should be able to move around fairly, easily. It might be easy for a person in Bangalore, much easier for him to jump into a plane, come here for a holiday than to go to Rajasthan. Just 2 hours. We have only 1 hour. Look at the advantage. So in industry, in all this, the supply chains that can be established. For Indian Ocean is now developing. You will find India, you will find Indonesia, you will find Iran, you will find Saudi Arabia and others, the Gulf, that will develop fast. So this is now becoming a center. It will be for the next 50, 60 years, and as Africa develops. So what we have to do now, let's keep building up on our other connections, the sports, the culture. There is no difference at all here. But the economic and the trade relations must go ahead. The political relations have been there. We are next to each other. We have to live with each other. But it's the trade relations that can benefit both India and us. So I must thank the India Society, Sri Lanka, for this occasion where we have got together, and for the efforts they made last year to ensure that we have a closer integration, and let the vision statement now be implemented in full. Thank you.
Friends, it is hard to miss that overall, our relations today are better than ever before in our history. It is underpinned by unprecedented mutual trust and goodwill, the positive direction that our relations have acquired in the past year following the adoption of the vision document by our leaders at the summit meeting in July 2023 gives us the confidence that even better days are ahead. This new confidence is further buttressed by India's strong economic performance in recent years and strong signs of economic recovery, growth, and reform that we see manifesting in Sri Lanka. There are also other important reasons for this confidence. Our respective urge to transform our nations into a developed one by mid-century, our newfound determination to finally deliver and translate our vast potential into performance, our faith in democratic polity and good governance, and most important, the aspirations of a large youthful populations, which gives us the much-needed drive and energy to forge ahead. Indeed, we seem poised to be on the right side of history, expecting finally to achieve our ambition and aspirations of scaling great heights together.